Hello, I'm Michael Ford, Superintendent of Russell County Schools, standing in front of the new Lake Cumberland Regional College and Workforce Center. This building and all of the equipment inside was made possible through a Work Ready Skills Initiative grant of $5.7 million that this community, this region, supported Russell County in receiving through numerous letters of support, financial contributions, and just a plethora of support that we received to secure this grant. The rest of the amount was bonded through a bond that the Russell County Board of Education sold. We've got about a $16.7 million building complete with state-of-the-art equipment and machinery. Join me inside now as we take a tour with Principal Roy. Plaque of the Lake Cumberland Regional College and Workforce Center. We have board members Gerald Murray, Sheila Wicker, Richard Kazook, Brenda Hickenbotham, and Joy Wilson. We have our architect with Sherman Carter Barnhart, construction management and general trades with Branscombe Construction, consultants for Sherman Carter Barnhart and CMTA for mechanical and electrical engineering. This is a nice facility. This is the entrance into it. You'll notice on the doors, great security. So when someone has to be buzzed in, they don't get into the main office area until they're buzzed in, and then once they're in the main office area, they cannot come back out until they're buzzed back out. Also, certain employees will have proximity card readers that will allow them access without having to use a key. So I come in from the front reception area, and we're heading into what we call the collaborative learning space or commons area. And here's Principal Sarah Roy.
So this area will be hopefully heavily used by students as a place where they can power up and use some technological devices, but it'll also be a place where teachers can bring out their classes for a different learning environment and possibly even do some collaborative work with other classrooms, such as carpentry, working with electricity to collaborate on a specific learning project. So that's just one example of how this space will be used. So if you'll notice here, this area was intentionally left open, and you will see that in several places throughout the building. And this is so that students can actually just look up and see what they're learning put into a real life situation where they can see conduit, domestic water source, all different types of things. And they can look up and actually see how that works in the real life setting. Okay, so this is our computer science classroom. This is a new program that will be added to the Lake Cumberland Regional College and Workforce Center. And so we're super excited about it. If you'll look up, you will see that this room has no ceiling tiles, and that was done intentionally so that once again, students can look up and see how this trade is put to work and what this looks like if they were to go into this as a profession. You'll see we have space in the back where students can work with wiring, data cables, switches, servers, all different types of things like that. So once again, this is our computer science classroom. Okay, so this is our health science classroom. This is one of our very popular programs. Our pathways in here are pre-nursing and allied health core skills. And within that, we teach anatomy, our Medicaid nurse aid class, and several others. But as you can see, our stations are all set up just like you would see in a healthcare facility. We have 4 stations, one actually around the back, where students will be able to come in, practice their clinical skills, and have the setup just like they would see if they were to be actually in the workforce right now. We also have a training bathroom in the back where students will utilize for those particular skills. We have a scrub-in station in the back as well, where if they were going into surgery, they would learn how to scrub in. We have a nurse. This is set up just like a nursing station would be in a hospital setting. One of the things we're most excited about is the addition of our anatomage table, which if you will see over here in this corner, and as you can see, this is a table that contains 4 biometric cadavers that there's been multiple clinical studies made for the instructional setting. And as you can see, we have one of those here. We can actually go in and we can dissect, and we can get a closer look at what's inside of the human body. And we're super excited about how engaging this is going to be for students, rather than simply looking at a PowerPoint or looking at a handout where they identify body parts. They'll actually be able to look inside and actually see how the different parts work together. The teacher can isolate certain body systems. For example, the respiratory system. She can actually isolate that system, and if that's what they're studying, and students can take a closer look at those different parts. They can actually do a quiz on here and actually label the various parts. So if you can see, we're able to actually get a closer look at the body system. We can turn him over. We can look a little closer. We can just maneuver him all different sorts of ways. See how, for teaching an anatomy class or anything health related, this would be more engaging for students, something that they can actually see, they can touch, and they can actually see it in real life format. So something else that makes this table super neat is students can actually just click on various parts of the body, and it will tell them what that they are looking at. Bones, whether it be muscles, whatever it is, it tells them. It will actually pop up and help them identify the various parts of the body. To just basically a skeleton, if we're looking at individual bones. So students are going to have a lot of fun, I think, and learn at the same time while utilizing this table. We'll, once again, we can turn him over, manipulate him that way. There's the ilium from the back, the femur. Let's see. So when I bring him back, I'm going to bring him back, and he'll be like he was to start with, and there we are, back to the start.
A great feature about the Lake Cumberland Regional College and Workforce Center, as you can see, is directly connected to the high school. Students will walk down what we always refer to as the Ag Hallway and walk directly into the Lake Cumberland Regional College and Workforce Center.
Okay, so this is our electrical technology classroom. If you will look around, you will see lots of open space. However, once school starts and we have students back in here, this space right here in the center will then become where we work on residential wiring. A house will be framed up, and students will take part in that, and then they will learn how to work on residential wiring in this area right here. So this will be filled up once school is started. Around the wall there, we have panel boxes where students will work on, and then we also have several trainers here. Students will work on electrical motor controls and some industrial electricity concepts. So this is our welding technology shop area. Once again, we have lots of new equipment in this area that we're super proud of, from bandsaws to iron workers. One of the things that we're most excited about is the addition of extra welding booths, so that will enable us to be able to serve more students at one time. We are now up to 16 welding booths, so that's wonderful. We got a new plasma cutter table here, and like I said, several other pieces of equipment that are brand new, and we're looking forward to letting students get in here and put to use. So this is our construction carpentry space, and as you can tell, it is filled with lots of brand new equipment that we are excited to put to use. In this class, students are exposed to all the different stages of construction work, from site layout and foundation to floor and wall framing, exterior and interior finishing, ceiling and roof. And as you can see, we've got this set up to where it mimics what they would see if they were actually on a job site. We want students to be familiar with the tools and the equipment that they would use if they were actually working in construction in the workforce.
Here we are on the back side, or the east side, of the Lake Cumberland Regional College and Workforce Center. On the upper level, we have the new greenhouse, state-of-the-art for the ag department here at the high school. This is the fenced-in area. That fencing is new as part of the agricultural department. As we come around here, we have exterior storage for the welding gas tanks, along with an exterior outdoor air compressor that runs this entire building. Every one of these programs up here has an overhead door that gives outside access. There's the chiller for part of the HVAC unit, and then along back is a loading dock for the carpentry class.
This is our Industrial Maintenance Technology Lab, and industrial maintenance encompasses several different areas, from electricity, welding for maintenance, and several other things. On this end of the shop, you'll see this is where we're going to teach most of our hydraulics, pneumatics. We have our own welding booth here for maintenance that students will be able to use. Fluid power, those are the classes that will kind of be taught on this end of the shop. One of the most exciting things in our industrial maintenance shop that students are intrigued by is our robotics class. And as you can see, we've got several different robots that we've added to our class this year. Everything from our doughbots, which are more of an instructional use, all the way to welding robots in industrial size that they would actually see in the factory setting. Students will learn to program and repair and do work in that robotics class.
So I'm entering through the lower level. This is where adults in the night for Somerset Community College and others would enter this lower level, separate from where students enter during the day. And this is the lower level commons area or collaborative learning space, just like we have upstairs. Just a little bit different layout, but very similar to what we have upstairs.
So this is our automotive technology shop area, and this is an area that is extremely popular among our students. Lots of students want to be able to get in and do some minor repairs on their own vehicles, even if they're not interested in that as a career. This is a super popular area, and as you can see, we have a 2-post lift here that students will utilize to troubleshoot. This is our alignment rack. In addition, one of the new things that we purchased for this program is a new heavy-duty lift. So this will enable us to work on heavier equipment, heavier pieces of heavier vehicles, diesel vehicles possibly in the future. So that's one of our new pieces. We also have been blessed to have several items donated from businesses such as Toyota of Georgetown, and these motors here are great instructional pieces for students to learn to troubleshoot on. We have some trainers that aren't in yet but should be arriving very soon, and we've also received several vehicles from Toyota of Georgetown that are utilized for instructional purposes. We do a lot of live work in here as well, which means various community people may drop off a vehicle and they understand that it's being worked on by students and with students, but the teacher is able to utilize that as an instructional piece, and so it's extremely real life for them in the classroom. They're able to identify what the problem is and then make their repair. Okay, this is our computerized manufacturing and machining lab, also known as what many people would call our machine tool shop. We are extremely blessed in this area. Not only do some schools aren't even able to have this program, but the equipment for this type program is extremely expensive, and we are very blessed to be able to get all the new equipment that we've had in addition to what we already had existing in our old facility. Some of the initial mills that you see here were made possible several years ago when Mr. Chester Taylor was the principal, through a grant that he wrote and applied for and received. And then some of the newer equipment, which is several pieces that you see, whether it be a new bandsaw, new lathes, CNC mills, drill presses, several different pieces here were made possible through the WRSI grant that was part of this building. So like I said, in comparison to other ATCs and even some of the technical colleges, we are blessed with an abundance of equipment and up-to-date equipment. One of the things that we also have recently added is a course in 3D printing. That's something that's a very high interest class for us. Lots of students want to take that. We have around 20 3D printers that we use here, and This is also something that's specific in industry to Kentucky as a need. It's been noted as a need, so we are offering that class as well.